Hey, what's up, team? It's Sherman here from Geek Psychology. Today's video is about extroverted sensing. So to break it down and figure out what that is, let's look at the previous definitions I've used. Sensing is basically being used when you're looking at what something is. It tells you what it is tangibly based on your experiences. It's looking at like detail, color, line, texture, tone, heat, all that stuff, right? The things that your senses can pick up. And extroversion is a focus of your mental energy outside of yourself to the objective world that everybody can actually partake in and understand. So put them together, and extroverted sensing is this connection to the tangible, current, real world outside of yourself, not related to your personal experiences or anything like that. That's about it. I mean, there are many nuances within that, and I'll get into some of those, but you don't need to complicate it too much. It's actually one of the more easily understood functions. There are all those layers within it, though. So basically, it's connected to the current physical, tangible, real world. It's like a photograph. It's not like an interpretive painting or a character of something. It's a picture of what is really happening in the real world without any sort of personal experiences involved in that understanding of what it is. Extroverted sensors want to embrace and absorb all that reality is around them. Take things from every angle that is actually tangible. Anything the senses can pick up, they want to bring it in. And because it's an extroverted perceiving function, it's always open to more information, trying to just bring it all in. So that's where that absorbing the reality around you, the verifiable world around you comes from. As you can imagine, that extroverted sensors want movement. They want things to stimulate their senses. If they're just sitting behind a desk all day, they're going to get extremely bored and fidgety and not really know what to do with themselves. If you have like any sort of movement there, they're going to be a lot more involved and entertained and be able to do what they need to do. And this kind of brings along that stereotype of extroverted sensors being impulsive or wild, pushing themselves, push it to the limit, pushing themselves out there to try to get like just more and more adrenaline and connection to whatever makes them feel good and thrills and all that stuff. And there's always that kind of truth behind the stereotypes, but what it actually is just trying to connect with the real, verifiable experiences in the current reality. If you kind of switch it to a video game perspective, I always think of sensors as warriors and extroverts as the offensive variation of that. So an extroverted warrior or an offensive warrior is kind of like a berserker. They're ready to just run in, dive into the battle, become one with everything around. Like do a flip over all these people, boom, do the hero landing, and just embrace the current real battlefield around them. Take it all in and really understand how it feels to be in this situation without kind of mixing it up with like interpretations and ideas and abstractions and all that stuff, theories. It's just like, this is this, I know it is. That's what it is. You can't debate that. It's real, it's factual, it's objective. And I always imagine them as holding, two giant mauls, two hammers, and just running in there and swinging, but it really doesn't matter what weapon it is. Extroverted sensors are very good at picking up things in the environment and using them as tools to kind of extend their reach of who they are, to be more connected to the real world around them. So like they're not gonna not pick up a sword because they're not proficient in it. It's not about specializing, it's about being inclusive, taking in all the options and just using them in whatever way that kind of meets the needs of the situation. Extroverted sensors and berserkers are very good at responding to crisis and to just embracing the moment and knowing exactly what to do, flowing within the situation. They're very kinesthetic, very good at like running in there, like I said before, initiating anything to get things moving, basically, and adapting to the situation as well. Just a couple, I guess, stories of my own. I have a sanshin. It's an Okinawan shamisen. It's like got 3 strings and it's made of snake skin. Play it like that. I'm awful at it. Just terrible. I have like the sheet music and I can read it, I can play it, but that's about it. One of my friends came over and she picked up the sanshin after seeing me kind of messing around with it for a little bit and was just instantly like boom, 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 just no problems at all. And I was in shock. I was like, how did you do that? How did you know that this makes that sound, and you know all the positions where you got to put your fingers and stuff? She was just like, I just listened and played it. There wasn't more to it. And that's kind of one of my ideas of like a representation of extroverted sensing, is just being able to pick up a tool, pick up something, and know how to use it instinctively. Also, another friend, when he talks, he always moves his hands and like uses his hands to explain how big something is and size, shape, and stuff like that. And when he does it, I mean, everybody does that, but when he does it, I can actually see him being there and like having the item there. Like he's just so focused on what it was. And I mean, that could be kind of related to introverted sensing, but it's more just a sensing thing of like, he is imagining the tangible, the real world, the thing that it was, and like how all of his senses could understand what that thing is. I think that's about it. I mean, that's kind of my understanding of extroverted sensing and some extroverted sensors, these berserkers that I like to call them. I mean, if you're an extroverted sensor, if you're a berserker, like, thank you. Thank you for showing us, all of us that are not extroverted sensors, what the human body can do and like the real potential of the human body. And how like to just be involved and embrace that current reality without trying to overcomplicate things and stuff like that. It's amazing. I'm always a little envious of my friends when they're out there and like I can see them doing something that I could just, it's not my style, right? So the world needs these berserkers to go out there and just create movement and just live it up and just absorb all that goodness that is actually the real world around us without trying to overcomplicate things. And of course, like introverted thinking or introverted feeling, if you're an ESP, that's going to give you that extra layer of depth and direction to where you want to take your physical reality. But extroverted sensing itself, just to recap, is just that connection to the current real world that the senses can pick up, and it's not overcomplicated by your past and your personal experiences and subjective reality. It's just what a thing is in all the glory and detail of it. So I hope that made sense. I hope it cleared something up if you were confused about something. Please comment below, do all that good stuff. If you know an extroverted sensor, now I think you kind of have a better understanding of how they're embracing the world, and how you can tailor your interactions to them to help them go in the direction that they want to go. All right, so that was that video. Next is introverted sensing. So stay tuned and good luck, have fun. See ya.